Mouth closed, eyes open. In this game, you're often to get down and dirty. For instance, sometimes you're tasked with getting rid of an old decomposed body that's been hidden in a wall for months. Rack killed the loudmouth super months ago, and after giving the crack house a foul smell, the team finally decides to get rid of his body. Although he struggles and has a few missteps, Marvin packages the super's body nicely for Rack. She and Kanan take an impromptu mother-son camping trip to the Catskill Mountains. Her goals for the trip are simple: get closer to her son and get rid of the body. Rack leaves Marvin with some simple instructions: no more runs out to Jersey until I get back. But unfortunately for Rack, Sal's men were 2 steps ahead of her. They've been keeping surveillance on the Thomas Stark family. Their plans for Rack's trip are also quite simple: distract Kanan and kill Rack. Luckily for Kanan, the Italians have it no killing kids. Before we proceed, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoy today's video. If you are new here, welcome to the family. Subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to get notified anytime I upload a new video. The theme of surveillance is neatly woven throughout episode 5. Everyone is interested in what another person is up to, whether it's Sal's men keeping an eye on Rack, Detective Burke secretly stalking Detective Howard and those close to him, Marvin spying on Tony, Marvin's therapist keeping a close eye on him, or Jukebox running up on Ziza. In the end, we learn that if you spy, you better be prepared for whatever you find. Elsewhere in what happens in the Catskills, Lulu and Crown's relationship as partners at Bulletproof Records is anything but civil as they continue to get on each other's nerves. Lulu also gives Famous another chance at rapping in the studio while making Jukebox never want to come back again. Marvin somewhat opens up to his anger management counselor Renee, and Jukebox's new relationship with her mother Kenya only improves by the second. Did Jukebox just find Marvin's replacement? Marvin's errors with Jukebox couldn't have come at a worse time for him, at least. Her reconnection with her mother Kenya and their improving relationship will only make her more resistant to reconciling with him. Jukebox stares at Marvin with disgust at one moment, and in another, she sings gleefully in church with her mother. Marvin will always be her father and Kenya her mother, but in terms of the parental figure she depends on the most, it appears that Kenya is slowly taking that spot from Marvin. While he acknowledges his wrongs in his strained relationship with Jukebox, as we see him do during a meeting with Renee, Marvin fails to do the same with Jukebox herself. Time is ticking for Marvin. He needs to right his wrongs and do so quickly in order to salvage and maybe improve what's left of his relationship with Jukebox before she moves on to what she deems as better. After preparing the body for his sister, Marvin meets with his anger management counselor Renee Timmons for breakfast. It is pretty obvious that a romantic relationship will develop between the two. But Timmons uses Marvin's lack of participation in their group sessions as an excuse for meeting with him privately. She threatens to have the judge send him back to jail, but her threat is just a strategic tool to get Marvin to open up, and it works. He begins to slowly open up about Juke. Without going into details, he admits to his mistakes as a father and acknowledges his daughter's right to be upset with him. "I ain't a sick motherfucker. I'm just a dumb motherfucker," he tells Timmons. With Rack out of town and Lulu distracted by the studio, Marvin goes for a ride that leads him to Tony. She has upgraded her life: designer shopping trips and a large house in the suburbs with an attractive husband who wears khakis and cardigans. Of course, a black guy with jewelry is easily identifiable in Tony's new neighborhood, so just as much as Marvin is watching Tony, the local police are watching him. I'm not 100% sure what Marvin would want with Tony. Maybe revenge. Maybe he misses her. I'm sure this won't be the last time we see a sneak peek of the bougie publicist's life. Detective Burke won't let trying to solve the shooting go. And if you're a fan of the Power universe, you are well aware that her snooping will probably get her killed or ruin her career. See Agent Greg Knox, Angela Valdez, Joe Proctor, Blanca Rodriguez, and Cooper Sachs. She brings in Andrea, a paid sex worker who has been a longtime customer of Howard's, for questioning. Burke relies on intimidating interrogation techniques to get Andrea to talk. At first, not much information gets shared because Howard didn't do much pillow talking after his sessions with Andrea. He did vent to her, however, about finding out he had a son, and Andrea relays this information to Burke. It won't take long for her to put 2 and 2 together to figure out that Kanan is Howard's son. After finding out about Andrea's loose lips, Detective Howard cuts her off. Like his partner, he's been doing some surveillance of his own. With Kanan in the mountains, Howard hasn't successfully reached him, so he pulls up on Jukebox to get some answers. Loyal to both Kanan and her Aunt Raquel, Jukebox pays him no mind. Speaking with 12, especially one who is claiming to be your cousin's father, goes against the rules of the game. Jukebox has her own shit to deal with, from trying to convince her uncle and Crown that she is talented enough to make it in the music business, to still mourning the loss of her girlfriend and relationship with her father, to building a new relationship with her mother without most of her family knowing. After hearing a recording of Ziza singing one of her songs, Juke pops up on her at her house, only to find out that her uncle Lulu gave Ziza the song. The rejection from her uncle inspires a soulful performance of Mary Don't You Weep at her mother's church that leaves everyone speechless. What's the saying in most black churches? That girl can sing. In episode 5 of Power Book 3 Raising Kanan, titled What Happens in the Catskills, Rack and Kanan set out to the woods for a one-day camping trip. It's one that Rack initiates due to her desire to have a date herself with Kanan. Rack believes that her son will enjoy the day out, as he used to be fond of camping as a kid, but with their relationship strained, Kanan is all but excited to be alone with his mother. This strain is a result of Kanan being unsure of who his real father is, as well as his doubts that Rack is being truthful if and when he inquires about it. On the way to the mountains, the car ride is awkward for Rack and Kanan. He doesn't trust his mother, causing a wedge in their relationship. Because he's unable to express his true feelings to Rack, Kanan has opted to avoid her. To break the ice in the car, Rack pulls the ultimate mom move and asks her son about his love life. Kanan shares that he's been kicking it with a young lady in famous building. But as soon as they arrive in the mountains, he wastes no time macking with Hannah, a young white girl. The two teens show equal interest in one another, but their attraction quickly causes trouble because of their racial differences. Before things get crazy, Rack and Kanan are able to bond over s'mores and alcohol. I brought you out here to talk to you. To see how you are, how you feeling, about us, about you and me and what we do, Rack says to Kanan. Aware of her son's hesitancy to fully commit to the family business, this conversation, though a bit odd for a mother to have with her son, allows Rack to give Kanan the agency to make his own choices. She's also able to reset the trust button and start fresh. No secrets between us. No lies, no side hustles. We share everything, she says. The look on Kanan's face says he's wise enough not to trust his mother completely. Now that Kanan is all in, Rack tasks him with helping her bury the super's body. The moment forces Kanan to see his mother in a different light. However, he doesn't budge or show fear, and he gets the job done. Sal's guys are still on a mission to kill Rack, but they drop the ball and only end up shooting each other. Rack outsmarts one of Sal's guys and Kanan manages to handle himself while fighting off the other. Rack is well aware that killing both of Sal's guys would cause a war, and a war with the Italians is not what she wants, so she lets them live, knowing that a conversation with Sal is a top priority. The drive back to Queens is equally awkward as the ride up, but not because of the distance between Rack and Kanan. As Kanan puts it, there are times you don't even have to say shit. It's better to keep your mouth closed and your eyes open. Where does Kanan go from here? Contrary to his mother's hopes, Kanan's time during the camping trip did nothing to improve his relationship with Rack. In fact, it may have worsened, as Kanan possibly suspects that they only took the trip to get rid of a dead body. Kanan had no desire to spend a day alone with his mother due to their strained relationship, and his body language during their time together makes that more obvious. Deep down, Kanan wants answers from Rack about who is truly his father, but he also knows that confronting her and getting that truth won't be an easy thing. Additionally, investigating on his own has only made him question things more. Jukebox told him to just open up to Rack and be honest, but Kanan has no desire to do that. However, if he really wants his answers, he'll have to just suck it up and get it done. Whether or not that happens remains to be seen in future episodes. If you agree with the content of this video, please click the like button. Leave your feedback and comments. That's all for today. Thank you for tuning in. Support is much appreciated and will result in even more content being made available. More information can be found in the description. Please join the family by subscribing and pressing the notification bell to be notified whenever I post.